everything's bite size. Everything is already cut for our guest, our customer, your family, your brothers, sisters, for you. And why is that? Well, they use chopsticks. And when using chopsticks, okay, there's no knife. So everything has to be picked up, bite size, little pieces. All right, so I'm going to continue to cut those. As well too. All right, so now we have our Chinese long beans right here. And I'm just going to get a little plate or platter to put those on. These are kind of a bulky item. Okay, so there's our Chinese long beans right there. And then the next thing and the last vegetable to be cut is our mushrooms. And these are our mushrooms right here. This is known as a shiitake. The stem of the mushroom itself is unedible, okay? So you got to pull the stem off. Now, I believe that each of you were given somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 shiitake mushrooms. I want you to save at least 3 of your mushrooms for the fried rice that we're going to make later in the week. And that's what your rice was for. So I did want to just explain, though, that the stems of the mushrooms, okay, need to be taken off. Then we're going to just slice them. Remember, everything is bite-sized. So a nice thin slice. Each mushroom I could probably get into 4 pieces or so. I also am not going to do all the mushrooms that I have, although I do like shiitake mushrooms, and certainly I would tell you that, you know, if you are a fan of a particular vegetable like peppers or green onions, don't be afraid to add a little extra, a little more. All right, so we got our mushrooms right there, okay? All right, so let's go over our list and kind of wipe down. Okay, make sure I got a nice clean area. All right, so we have our onions, we have our carrots, we have our peppers, we have our green onions, we have our bean sprouts, okay, we have our garlic, our ginger, our green beans, our mushrooms, our dried chilies, and our chopped Thai chilies. So at this point, I am going to take 5 minutes to organize my station, and then we will work on getting our sauce prepared that we need. Matter of fact, I don't even need 5 minutes. I'll just go ahead and do that now. And then we'll move on to our chicken and our shrimp prep that we need. All right, so for the sauce, we need 3 tablespoons of mushroom flavored oyster sauce. So let me get my measuring spoons. And if you don't have measuring spoons, okay, to where it has a tablespoon, 3 teaspoons, okay, 3 teaspoons is equal to 1 tablespoon. Although I'm pretty sure we've measured everything out. So first thing is the mushroom flavored oyster sauce. There's 1. 2. And 3. So there's that. Next thing is 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. I'm going to rinse this off. And I'm going to go with 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. 1, 2. All right, next is, 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. So here's my sesame oil. 1, 2. Make sure to check your ingredients, everybody. I know that I mentioned to Ian that I wanted everybody to have a little extra in case you spilled any. So, and then 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. Now, if you don't have 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, let me just show you, okay? 1/4 teaspoon is going to be 2 pinches. 1, 2. And I got big fingers, so 2. If you've got smaller fingers, okay, use 3. But don't probably go more than that. And then the last one is our sambal, which is a garlic flavored kind of chili paste. And we need 1 teaspoon of that. So there's 1 teaspoon. All right. Now I'm just going to mix all this together. Excellent, very good. Mix that all together and just set it off to the side. All right. Very good, we're just moving along here. Moving along. All right, so you can see we're well organized at this point. We got our sauce now. We got all of our vegetables. The next thing we want to do is our chicken. And I like to do the chicken and the shrimp last. That way, as I mentioned earlier, I don't necessarily have to clean my board, okay, in between. So the shrimp, they need to be peeled, okay? They've already deveined them for us, so all we need to do is just peel them. Go ahead and take the whole shell off, including the tail. And all I'm doing is grabbing a hold of the tail, a firm grip on the body of the shrimp, and I just pull, okay? And again, should just kind of come right apart, okay? Grab a hold of the tail and pull. And then the last one as well too. And pull, just like that. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this shrimp in half. Not half this way, but half that way. So I'm going to cut it in half lengthwise. So I'm just going to take a small knife and I'm just going to lay it on my board and I'm going to cut it into 2 halves, just like that. Just in half, just like that. Okay? And our last one. Just in half. All right, so now we have our shrimp cut. I'll wash my hands. Okay, now the last one is our chicken. Let me sanitize my board. Okay, good. All right, now the chicken is next. Chicken also needs to be just cut into bite-sized pieces. So the first thing I see is just a little fat right there, and I want to trim off that fat. And then I'm just going to cut the chicken breast in half, okay, just like that. And then I'll take each half and just cut the chicken into thin little strips. Remember, bite-sized pieces. No knives required. One, there, here, there, and there. Okay? Here, there, here, there. Ooh. Watch those fingers. Don't cut yourself. All right, so you can see now that I've cut the chicken into bite-sized little strips, okay? And we're gonna put those on the plate as well too, just right like that. All right, now let me wash my hands. Very good. Okay, hands are clean, nice and sanitized. All right, everybody, that is our mise en place, getting everything ready. So I'm going to pause for about, whoops, just knocked the camera. I'm going to pause this so that I can put everything away, okay, get cleaned up, and then we're going to cook our noodles that we need. Matter of fact, we probably should have cooked the noodles first, but that's okay. We'll go to doing that. All right, I'm going to pause, and I will be back.